As a Southern Indian, Hindi is an absolute alien language. There is a situation for a lot of people in many Indian states. However, Sanskrit is a language that exists and is part of the language and culture in every corner of India. The reason why the people of much of southern India can't understand Hindi is because Hindi is so Arabized and Urduized. The original Hindi language was Sanskritized, and that is a language that is easily understandable to many people or most people in much of southern India. The Tamil language, this beautiful ancient language, has a great deal of Sanskrit in it, right? We know that. I've spoken about this so many times. Kannada has a great deal of Sanskrit. Telugu has a great deal of Sanskrit vocabulary. Uh, Malayalam has a great deal of Sanskrit vocabulary. Every Indian language is infused with Sanskrit vocabulary. This is undeniable. And this is not some colonial oppression or some Sanskritization. It's just what happened over thousands of years of Indian history. The harmonious uh, intermingling of various languages. And it's the same culture and same civilization. So it's bound to happen. And the fact is that Sanskrit is not a dead language. You know, people tell you Sanskrit is a dead language. No, it's not. Latin is a dead language. Sanskrit is a living, breathing language. Let me illustrate this. The truth is that Sanskrit is part of every Indian language, even today. It's part of the vocabulary. And when you replace mundane words with Sanskrit words, it actually elevates the language, it elevates the discourse. So let me give you an example. Let's say I say a sentence in Hindi. आज सुबह मैंने एक सफेद कुत्ता देखा. Today morning I saw a white dog. आज सुबह मैंने एक सफेद कुत्ता देखा. Now let's say I replace certain words with Sanskrit, with better Sanskrit terms. Then I can say आज प्रातः मैंने एक श्वेत श्वान देखा. So it doesn't break the language. You still understand what I'm saying. It elevates the quality of the discourse. It elevates the language. So Sanskrit is very much alive. You can do the same thing in any other Indian language. You can do it in Gujarati, in Marathi, in Kashmiri, in Assamese, in Oriya. I'm sure you can do the same in Tamil as well, in other southern Indian languages. So Sanskrit is very much a living, breathing part of our vocabulary. It actually elevates and civilizes our discourse when we use better Sanskrit terms. And if you do the same thing with Latin in English or French, it's going to immediately break the language. You won't understand what you're saying. So let me illustrate that too. If I may be permitted to do that, let me go to Google Translate. Hang on. So let me translate from English to Latin: morning, white, and dog. I'll translate to Latin. So morning is mane, white is album, and dog is canis. So can I say that today, mane, I saw an album canis? You won't understand what I'm saying. It completely destroys the language. It's no longer a coherent speech. The same thing happens in French. If you use these words in French, the French word for morning is matin, white is blanc, and dog is chien. If you use these three words instead of that, it breaks the language. You have no idea what the person is saying. That's why Latin is a dead language. You can't do the same thing with Latin that you can do with Sanskrit. So that tells you that Sanskrit is very much a part of our living, breathing languages. It's part of our daily life. It's part of our culture and our civilization. And the reason Hindi is not understood is because it's been so badly Arabized and Urduized. If it is brought back to its roots, everyone will understand it. But it's better that Sanskrit should be the civilizational language, the one language that binds this ancient and great civilization together once again.